Hi, I'm Matt Tyrrell of Uncommon Knowledge and hypnosisdownloads.com, and welcome to 7 techniques for overcoming social phobia. Self-treatment tips you can use today for social anxiety disorder. Now, I had a client come along to see me for social anxiety, and meeting me, she said, was a sickening nightmare. And Sue, I'll call this client, had been dreading coming along. She cheerfully admitted to me later. More than just shyness, social phobia causes panic. Even just thinking about meeting or mingling with other people can cause a pounding heart or a dry mouth, a shaky voice, rapid breathing, sweating, blushing, an upset stomach. So no wonder it sometimes feels easier to just avoid other people altogether. For Sue, even seeing family, friends and colleagues, people she'd met many times before, felt like an ordeal drummed up by the Spanish Inquisition. And actually it was curious. She said, "I'm okay in a work context or when things are a bit more formal and organized because I know what to talk about. But as soon as it's kind of unregulated, just mixing with other people, I go to pieces. It's like I need a well-defined focus or I just panic." Social phobia spoils life. It gets in the way of what should be fun opportunities to meet and connect with other people. Crippling self-consciousness, nervousness, or not knowing what to say all add to the disagreeable mix of social anxiety. Yes, most people sometimes get a little self-conscious or feel somewhat shy around other people, but social phobia significantly worsens the quality of life. Once you become more socially confident, you open the door to so much. New opportunities, new friendships, and basically more fun and life. So how do I get rid of social phobia, you might be asking? Learning to relax in social situations is the key, so no surprises there. Once you feel calmer socially, then thoughts like, "What do I say next?" disappear because you go into flow. You sort of go into the zone and allow conversation to take its own natural path without feeling you have to force it, without feeling too awkward. And that horrible feeling of all eyes suddenly on me fades as it starts to feel much less important if others are focusing on you or not. So I worked with Sue for 7 weeks, and at the end of that time, she invited me to a party with her husband, I hasten to add. And we had a real laugh, and I could tell she was having a relaxed, fun time with many people she'd never even met before. And that was without too much booze as well, I hasten to add. So these 7 social confidence tips will help you feel more relaxed when out with others and allow you to begin your journey from social phobic to the confident person you really can be. So tip number 1, prepare to relax. It's an interesting thing. Few people think of worrying as preparation, as self-programming. But it is. Intense worry about upcoming social situations repeatedly links anxiety to the events so that the mind starts to associate these events with threat. So no wonder when you actually go into the social situation itself, you feel anxious. You've programmed yourself to feel this way. You can start to reverse this trend by taking time to think about the future gathering whilst relaxed, maybe in a warm bath or in a comfortable chair. Imagine seeing yourself looking relaxed and confident. Do this repeatedly so that your body and mind forge a new and better automatic association to these types of times. Tip number 2, seek out social situations. Imagine if you lived in a house for 30 years, but always avoided one certain room in the house. If after all that time you actually ventured into the mysterious room, you might feel a little tense and anxious, just a little bit stressed. Why? Because the more we avoid something, the more we send the message to the unconscious mind that this is so dangerous that I have to avoid it. And your unconscious mind, trying to help you out, builds the stress in association with what you've been avoiding, because it concludes that this must surely be a threat. So your mind, trying to be helpful, builds up that fear of what it is that you've been avoiding even more. In nature, we avoid a clump of trees because it might have lions in it, or we avoid cliff edges because falling off means death. So we avoid what frightens us and are frightened of what we avoid. So start to actively put yourself in social situations. In fact, even doing this in your mind, as well as for real, will help show your unconscious that this is normal. Tip number 3, look at your surroundings. Socially anxious people focus inwards on their feelings. This is what self-consciousness is. It's a self-absorbed focus. Studies have found that people who rate themselves as shy in social settings have much worse recall for external details of the environment because they've been looking inward, not outward. So it makes sense to focus outward more to lower anxiety. When in social situations, make a mental note of 3 aspects of the situation you're in. For example, you could note to yourself the color of the walls, any pictures on the walls and what they contain, what other people are wearing, and I have to confess I never remember that particular detail, but all these details can be absorbed by you, and if you absorb them and recall them, that means you're focusing outward, not inward. And this may seem strange, but it will get you used to focusing away from yourself, which is, after all, what social situations are for. And tip number 4, ask questions. Social phobia has us worrying what other people think of us, so instead focus on other people. Cultivate curiosity. Ask people open questions which require more than just a yes or no answer. So make a point of remembering what they tell you and referring back to it later to demonstrate that you're interested enough to take it in, that you've actually listened to them. Because few people in life feel really listened to by other people. So if you can demonstrate that you do listen, then that's a valuable thing. Again, this forces your focus of attention from inward to outward. And it's also nice for other people, which means you might accidentally make more friends as a byproduct of this strategy. Now, overcoming social phobia is as much about stopping doing stuff as it is about doing new stuff. So, tip number 5, switch off your imagination. Your imagination is a wonderful thing in its place, and if you use it constructively, it can be of massive help. It can transform your life. But using it to scare yourself is like using a hammer, a potentially useful tool, to wash the dishes. Trying to imagine what people are thinking of you is a big no-no. Years of public speaking taught me to stop trying to gauge what other people think of me. It just doesn't go anywhere. So if you can catch yourself mind reading, then tell yourself, or thinking that you're mind reading, then you can tell yourself, look, I really don't know what these other people are thinking right now, because that's the truth of it. And they're much more likely to be thinking about themselves and their perspective than you. Ultimately, we can influence what others think of us, but we can't control it. And as you become more socially confident, you'll care less anyway. Tip number 6, what do you want? Your mind needs positive instructions. Rather than, I hope I don't feel terrified as usual, which is like someone asking you directions by telling you where they don't want to end up, ask yourself, how do I want to feel in these situations? And get into the habit of focusing on that. Give yourself a target feeling by looking at times when you're comfortable with other people, often old friends or trusted family members, and that's the feeling you want in other social situations. Then you can prepare your mind to perform the way you want in social situations by using these situations as a template. So do this, close your eyes and get yourself nice and relaxed. You don't have to do this now, but this is something you can do later on. So close your eyes and get yourself relaxed. Take some time to remember how it feels to be with these familiar people until you get a strong feeling of comfort. So what's it like to be with someone you really trust and can just be yourself with? Get that feeling. Then imagine seeing yourself in a formerly less comfortable social situation, but behaving like you do with your trusted friends. Okay. This sort of mental rehearsal is extremely powerful and over time can make a massive difference. Tip number 7, on being yourself. Part of social phobia treatment involves teaching people to be relaxed enough to be able to present a less than perfect image. That's right. People who are relaxed about and prepared to sometimes make a bit of a fool of themselves tend to be much more socially confident and also much more fun for other people and very good at putting other people at their ease. Not that you need to become a party buffoon, but being prepared to show a less than perfect side to yourself is a sign of great confidence. For example, being humorous is a slight risk because it might just produce a stony silence. It's happened to me on many an occasion. Okay, and you can relax about that. I've been talking to 200 people and made a joke, and there's been tumbleweed. If you can relax about that, then you can make them laugh about the fact that nobody laughed. And the point is that social phobia gets us caring too much about what others think or what we imagine they think, and trying to present a perfect front drives out spontaneity, making us stilted. So typical self-conscious thoughts include self-statements like, I hope no one notices I'm tense, or what if I say the wrong thing? Okay, or what if people think I'm stupid? Or who would want to hear what I have to say anyway? Or I think I'm coming across as a weirdo. I'm coming across as strange. And those are typical thoughts that people have. Now, these kinds of thoughts all imply that occasional tenseness or even weirdness and inappropriate speech are somehow out of the norm for human interaction. But believe me, they're not. Even, I'm sure, inside Buckingham Palace. We all get a bit weird sometimes. We all go a bit left field, and that's fine. It makes it interaction more interesting. Worrying about ever putting a foot wrong is a form of perfectionism. Being a perfectionist is fine if you're doing surgery, but not if you're meeting the in-laws or going to the party down the street. Okay, these are not performance situations that require perfection. And if you are perfect in these situations, it's imperfect because it makes other people feel tense and inadequate. And we don't want that. So it's not that socially confident people never act a little weird or get the wrong end of a conversation or feel flustered occasionally. It's that they relax with these things when they do happen, which they will sometimes. Although when you relax, when you don't care about something happening, it sort of happens less anyway. I liken overcoming social phobia to rubbing the rust off a valuable ornament. It takes a little while, but soon the real beauty is evident and things become what they were supposed to be all along. And that means you. So I hope you found that useful, and if you did, please hit like and subscribe, and if you want to hear when the next video is published, hit the notification bell below. I'm Mark Tyrrell of Uncommon Knowledge and hypnosisdownloads.com, and if you'd like to try some of my personal development products, head over to hypnosisdownloads.com and take a look around. And thanks for watching.